Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mafex The Boys Black Noir. I ordered this figure from AmiAmi.com. If you're ordering your Mafex figures from an American website, you're probably paying far too much. I'll drop a link in the description below. Check them out. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, The Boys Black Noir Mafex figure number 183 in the Mafex line. Here's the package. Ton of accessories, ton of hands. One side of the package, The Boys. Other side, The Boys Black Noir pose up. On the back, ton of accessories, ton of different display options. A lot going on here. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there's his barcode, in case that helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open it up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out, and he comes with a ton of cool stuff. We have that Mafex display stand. He has a total of 13 alternate hands, totaling 15 interchangeable hands, several of which have permanent items attached. He has an alternate back piece to allow him to attach his sheath. He has his sort of bowl of tea. He's got a little thing of tea leaves. He's got a stuffed animal, 2 knives, a sword, sheath, and then his bottle with a large straw sticking out. But before we take a look at all of these, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Black Noir from The Boys. He's a member of the 7. Doesn't talk much, pretty much like a ninja, very brutal. That being said, the figure itself looks really cool. Reminds me of a generic ninja, reminds me of Snake Eyes. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his face here, he's got a sort of mask on, sunglasses or goggles. It's supposed to be a little bit different down here in the mouth area, and I think it's like sort of clothish in the show, but it kind of looks like one solid piece. The figure has one color, black. There is no other paint detail on this guy. He has different texturing on the armor on the front of his suit, and then the part underneath is sort of smooth. You can see the armored abs here. Of course, he has that giant cock piece. He's got some sheaths for his knives on his side. He's got some more on his back. Looks like sort of Mafex style double jointed elbows and knees. Very nice looking figure. I see we have even more knives on the inside of his legs. This guy is ready for combat. Looks like he has more stuff pouched on his arms here. Nice looking figure. Happy to add him to the 7. Happy to add him to the Mafex Boys collection, which is finally starting to sort of kick off. And a closer look at his face, mask, and head sculpt. Pretty good. Kind of basic. Kind of smooth. And here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the display stand. Here's his display stand. It's a transparent flight stand. Comes with a bunch of different pieces. The main pieces you need to make it work are these 3 pieces. When put together, it's going to look like this. We have the large base here with 3 different slots to put the post into. Then we have the post here at the bottom. It can rotate. It's hinged. Hinged in the middle, hinged at the top, rotation at the top, and it has this clamp to hold your figure. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 15 of them, 12 hands down the middle, and then he has 3 other hands with larger permanent accessories. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then, with his second pair of hands, this is a pair of gripping hands. And then his next pair of hands. These are some open hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. And here's another pair of hands. These would also look good relaxed at his sides, but they have a little bit of a grip going on. They're not totally open. And then his next pair of hands. These are a pair of specific hands. I believe the right hand is going to hold his sort of cup or bowl of tea, and this left hand is going to hold the stuffed animal. And here's his next pair of hands. This pair has a knife in his hand for close quarter combat, or possibly about to throw him at somebody. And then he has a few more right hands. Each one has a permanent accessory. This one here has a decapitated head. It's the head of a terrorist. Sculpted detail, it's a little bit milder on this than a typical Mafex figure, but it's not bad. On the bottom, you can see he's got the stump. You can even see the bone in there. Pretty well done. And then his next right hand, this one is holding his tea whisk. It's a little sort of device that'll crush up his tea leaves and make his bowl of tea. It looks like a little brush there, but it's actually sort of a little, I don't know, crusher, whatever the word is. And he has yet one more right hand. This one is holding a ladle. He's all about making his tea, the ceremony. Now for his back pieces, we have two of them. The one on the left has a couple of knives attached. The one on the right, completely smooth, but has a little hole there for the sheath. Here's Black Noir with his first back piece. This one has the knives on this back. And then his second alternate back piece. This one is totally blank, but it has the hole there to attach his sheath. And then speaking of, here's his sheath. It's got a little peg to attach on his back, and then it has a little sword. All done in black. Here's Black Noir holding his sword, and here he is, holstering that sword. Now let's look at his knives. He's got these knives, and they're able to be holstered onto his body. You can see the handle at the bottom there, and the blade up top here. Once again, casted pretty much all black. Here's Black Noir holding those knives, and here he is, holstering those knives. One on either side. And then we have a stuffed animal. It's a little stuffed bunny. Doesn't have any articulation. Looks pretty good. Looks like you're holding it, sort of hanging down like so. Here he is, holding that stuffed animal. He has a certain hand that is specifically designed to hold this properly. Has an area for his thumb to sort of fall into the slot. Then we have this bottle with the straw sticking out. Black Noir does not like to take his mask off, so he just drinks his drinks through his mask. Kind of weird. He's got a little penny straw at the top here, and then a bottle here that may or may not have alcohol in it. Here's Black Noir holding that bottle, drinking through the straw, right through the mask, just like in the show. Then we have his bowl of tea, as well as his little container with the tea leaves. So, this thing here is very small. In the show, it was sort of sitting next to when we made the tea. Little container you'd open up, scoop out the stuff, put it into your bowl, and then crush it with this little ladle. Then we have this bowl here. It's got green liquid in it. Decent sculpting detail in the bowl. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 6.3 inches tall, which can translate to 16 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down about that much. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. He's got articulation at the top of the neck as well as the bottom of the neck. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out a little bit less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He has these sort of drop down shoulders. They can look kind of bad. And you just kind of shove them back up there, but it does give you an increased range of motion. He's got butterfly joints, allow him to go forward and back. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in, and the double joint is hidden pretty nicely. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. In his torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very wide range of motion in his torso area. I'd say a little bit more in the torso than the waist. Legs, complete dust of splits, ball joints, rotation, very good. He kind of has drop down hips, but not bad. Forward, about that far, back, not much. Double jointed knees, and then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, articulation. Here's Black Noir on a rooftop overlooking the city. Now let's switch to a different type setting. Here's Black Noir, kneeled down in an Asian type setting. He's making his tea. A closer look at him, crushing his tea leaves, going through the tea ceremony. Now let's check him out. Next to some of their action figures, starting off with some of their boys' figures. Here's Black Noir, next to Homelander, the leader of the Seven. And here he is, next to the Butcher. I hope they make a Huey figure. Then, next to Starlight, she's the most recent Mafex The Boys figure. She actually released after Black Noir. Here are all the members of the Seven that Mafex has made. It's pretty obvious we're not going to get the entire original team of the 7. I doubt anyone's going to make translucent. Here's the entire Mafex The Boys collection so far. Now we have seen some more figures. I recall seeing Soldier Boy, A-Train, and the Deep. Hopefully they're also going to give us Maeve. Here's the Mafex Black Noir. Next to Neca's version, we have the 6-inch version and the 7-inch version. So, the figures have a lot of similarities. They both look like a ninja. They both look like Black Noir. This one has much glossier paint job. I don't know, it seems almost a little bit too shiny when looking at it like this. The texturing is pretty good on the armor here, but very basic on the rest of the body. I feel like Neca maybe got a little bit better detailing on the rest of the body here. As a whole, I think I like the Neca one better. I just think it looks a little better, and it's cheaper, and it's a little bit of a bigger scale. They're both really nice figures though. And then here he is, next to the entire collection of Neca The Boys figures. A long time ago we saw a sculpted A-Train, but god, that was probably 18 months ago. I wonder if they're done making boys figures or not. It'd be nice if they could at least complete the core group. He's a Mafex Ninja figure. He totally reminds me of this Mafex Batman Begins Ra's al Ghul in his League of Shadows outfit. I could see the two guys crushing and drinking tea together. And I got 8 of those League of Shadows members. Why, you might ask? I wanted a full league for Ra's al Ghul to lead. And to tell you the truth, Black Noir here could work for a sort of elite League of Shadows member leading these guys into battle. He also kind of reminds me of Snake Eyes. Here he is, next to a Hasbro G.I. Joe classified 6-inch scale Snake Eyes. And I have almost all the versions of Snake Eyes that Hasbro's made. I don't have the Walmart retro card version or the new upcoming desert one. Still, cool little army of ninjas. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Mafex figures. Here he is, next to several different Batman Mafex figures. And here he is, next to several different Mafex Batman villains. Then, next to even more Mafex figures. Here's Black Noir, next to several different female Mafex figures. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you have no designs you can mix him with. Since he's a Mafex figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work way larger. We already checked him out with plenty of other Mafex figures. Here he is, next to some other Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Here's Black Noir, next to a couple of pieces of charcoal. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Here's Black Noir, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, standing with some Neca figures. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, with some McFarlane toys. And here he is, with some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. So overall, this is a very nice Black Noir figure. His accessories are amazing, they're plentiful. You can damn sure have him do every aspect of the tea ceremony. His articulation is pretty nice, everything you'd expect from a modern Mafex figure. His sculpt and paint job are good, but they could be better. For the price, I think his sculpting is a little bit bland. I mean, it looks great on the armor, but the parts that are non-armored, it's just plain and smooth. Which one is better, Mafex or Neca? Hate to say it, I'm going to give it to the Neca figure on this one. The articulation is maybe a little bit more limited, but I think the sculpt is much better. He has a bigger presence to himself. And just overall, I enjoy it more. I do prefer 7-inch scale figures as a whole, but I can recognize when a 6-inch figure is better than a 7-inch figure, and I'd say at this point, Neca won. And the sad thing is, Neca costs quite a bit less than the Mafex figure. So take that into consideration, and I mean, it's a good figure, but there's definitely some disappointment involved as well. If I were to rate this figure, I think I will give him a 7 out of 10. He's nice. It's kind of teetering on a 6.5. He's nice, but just a little bit bland compared to what I got with the Neca figure and what I expected to get with this figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.